Hey there. Subscribe to my channel. And also press this bell icon, so you never miss any new updates, cause whenever we upload new video you will get a notification on your phone.
Hi, today in my bench I have this radio. It is branded Panasonic and it is an FM middle wave shortwave portable radio. The model number, according to this writing over here, it is an RF-562. It has all the basic controls, the tuning knob, this guy over here, and this is the volume / on off key. So yeah. Now, from the quality of the making of this, I believe it is Chinese, and it has a lot of corrosion inside of the dial. As you can see, a lot of dirt and a lot of funky stuff. One thing I have to mention about this radio before I try to open it, that this type of radios, it is new, it is not old like it seems, it is new, but we all know that radios from the 60s used to have a leather casing. In this case it is leather, but however it is stiff like a cardboard. So yeah, it feels leathery or like leather, but it is stiff like a cardboard. Yeah, it is really stiff. This is common in low-end Chinese devices. So yeah, they look ancient and they look decent, but in reality they are not. So the complaint was in this radio that it was working and they stopped using it and they put it into a cabinet and they forgot about it. When they tried to use it, it did not work, and this is how it looks. So I believe there is a moisture involved, and yeah. One thing caught my attention, the tuning knob, it is not working. It doesn't move the needle and it feels loose from the inside. So let's open the or the leather cabinet and see what's inside of this radio. So this is the let's say the leather housing or the leather casing. As you can see, a lot of corrosion in here. Yeah, a lot of corrosion. So I guess in some point water get into this thing. So this is the only way that this type of corrosion or this kind of reaction could occur, and a lot of rusty water, I believe, got printed into the leather casing, as you can see. One thing I have to say about removing the casing or the leather casing in this, it is a really hard process. They have put these kind of hinges or plastic rivets. You need to swiggle the and you need to open the leather belt a little bit like so, in order so you can slide the rivet from inside of it. And this was a very hard task to do. Yeah. Now back on the radio. This is the radio, and as you can see, there is a lot of rust residue, and wow, this thing doesn't look so good. This thing is bad. Let me remove the battery compartment. Wow, a lot of rust. This thing will work, but yeah. So let me remove the screws and see the inside of this unit. So this is the inside of the unit itself, and to my surprise it is an original Japanese set. So wow, I've seen a lot of these and they are Chinese, but in this case the inside of it is Japanese, and it even have a transformer output amplifier. So wow, but look at the way it is corroded. Wow. Now the volume key needed to be replaced. This is rusted beyond repair. Yeah. The speaker, it is also a little bit rusty, but let's confirm that the speaker it is working. Let's test the speaker now. Now the way to test the speaker is you need to have a VOM multimeter, and you need to set it to ×1. This to this selection over here. Yeah, let's turn on the meter. Let's zero out the meter movement in order so we can test the Here you go. We zero out the meter movement. Now let's hook the leads to the speaker and see if we can get a reading. From the buzzing or from the static that it is coming from the speaker, I believe it is working. Now let's confirm it, and if we can see it is about, oh wow, this is 16 ohm. Wow, I did not expect it to be that high. This is a rare type of speakers. And it is reading 2 ohm. So maybe the coil it is short, or maybe because it have a lower it is connected, or it is connected through the transformer output coil. So let's turn on the soldering iron and test the speaker. But oh man, look at the way this is water. Get into it. Wow, this is water. Wow. And from the smell of it, it is definitely water. Yeah. But look at the antenna rod. Wow, these kind of devices, you cannot see them anymore. This is original, all original. Look at this resistor over here. This is corroded beyond Imagine, and this is about 1.2 ohm. Yeah, this is 1.2 ohm. They are using transistors C3203 as an output stage. A lot of corrosion happened to this unit. Yeah. So let me pause this and remove this board over here and disconnect this and see the inside of this radio. So I removed the wires from the speakers or the speaker wires, and I removed these two screws, this one over here and I believe this one, and boy, this one was rusty. As you can see, it is very rusty now. And I remove the knobs from the inside, and these are the knobs, and this is really quality. This thing, it is really high quality. I like it a lot, but yeah, as you can see, it's sad. These kind of sets that been through what this unit been through. So yeah, so this is and I remove this battery board. As you can see, it looks okay, but I believe I will have a lot of work in order, and a lot of sanding in order so this spring is back to its functionality position. As you can see, it is really rusty. So let's remove this board and see the inside of this unit or this radio. Here you go. One board assembly, and this is all it is. All what it is. I believe the board, it is in really good neck. Yeah, the board, it seems like it was new except for the water damage, but yeah. Let's see why the tuning knob, it is not working. Oh, here is the problem. The spring, it is broken. Let me get a tweezer. As you can see, the spring from the tuning rail, it is broken. So this breaking, or if the spring or the string it is got damaged, you will not have a tension in order so the tuning the tuning spool can drive the tuning rail. So yeah, as you can see, it is really loose. So what I have to do to fix this is rebend the this spring over here and make another noose and tie it to this side of the spool itself, or the rail itself, and this should take care of this problem. Now let's test the speaker and see what kind of resistance the coil it is giving. As you can see, it is giving up to 10, 11, it is giving up to 14 ohm. So it should be into this dot over here above this big dot. In this big dot, it is 15, it should give 16, but it is giving up to 14 and a half, and that is okay. That is will work. So let's take care of this spring issue and test these and try to find a replacement to this volume key, or try to fix it, but I believe I will have to replace it because this is way beyond repair. So let's address these issues and see how we are going to fix it, and test the output of the amplifier transformers and see if they are damaged or not. So this is the spring of the tuning rail. It is back on its place. As you can see, it is like new. And here is the pieces that it has been broken off by deteriorating and by rust from the spring itself. So yeah, if I just tuning or try to move it with my hand, it is really solid. It is like factory. So this issue has been fixed, and as you can see, the spring, it isn't going to go anywhere. It is solid like it should be. So now let's address the issue with the radio board and see these components. As you can see, they are corroded, and let's try to fix these issues. So I removed the volume key, and if this camera will just focus, you will see, wow, the extent of the damage. So let me hook it to the VOM and see if the pot it is still working or not. Because if the pot it is not working, I will have to replace it. And by the way, this model is adapting the 10K VR resistance. So let me calibrate the meter and hook it up to the leads of the VR resistance and test the VR itself. So here we go, and I connected the FET VOM and I set it to the times 100 range, and because of this damn camera, it is keep blurring, it is not focusing, so I set it to times 100 and I calibrate the meter movement. As you can see, if I just short in or short out the leads, it is reading above 0 a little bit. Yeah, here you go. So let's connect and see if the volume it is working or not, or the pot resistance it is working or not. This is how you should connect it, and you should, because it is a 10K, it should read in this range. The times 100, it should read 100. 100 multiply it with 100 equals 10,000. So, or in that range. And in this case, it is reading about 9,500 ohm. So it is really close and within specs of the VR itself. So this part of the resistance, it is working. Now let's move on to the control arm and see if it is controlling or not. Now this is the control arm, and if we connected it, we should have a reading, and if we move it with my hand, the reading should be variable. As you can see, it is almost to 0. Now let me try to move it with my hand. Yep, it is on the 0. It is a little bit dirty, but it will work. So yeah, it is, to my surprise, it is working. So wow, that is cool. So what I should do, I believe if I clean this pot out, I believe it can work. So let's turn it down and see how we can, if we can fix it or not. So I cleaned the key much I could, and I remove all of the rust. Like you see, there is this rusty paint, or it is rusty structure, but it won't stop the volume key from working, and I scrub it harder that I could, and I believe, yeah, we got to this result, and this result, it is okay. So let's test it using the FAT VOM and see if the resistance after this cleaning, it is still working or not. Now this is, let's connect the leads to pin 1 and the other lead, and see the resistance. As you can see, after the cleaning, it is reading 100 or 10K on the spot. So yeah, and this is the all of the rust after using the cleaning solution has been dissolved, as you can see, to the Kleenex tissue. And I cleaned the control arm much I could, and it is shining like it was came from the factory. So in order to stop this from re-corroding, I will have to paint it using some isolation paint in order so I can preserve the structure of the pins much I could. So I'm going to use this kind of or a special kind of anti-oxidation paint, and paint these pins, and then secure and reassemble the entire key back into its place and reinstall it into the board. So here is the volume key, and I recoat the pins with a coating agent that it won't allow the pins to corrode and to deteriorate it more than they did. So let's now turn on the FAT VOM and test the volume key after I reassemble it. Now first of all, let's confirm the calibration. As you can see, it is zeroed out at about a 0.75 ohm. I'm not going to bother myself to calibrate the meter. The important thing is how it will control. Now let's see, and let's try to use my arm or tune it with my arm or control the tuning arm. As we can see, if I turn it, the control arm, it is controlling. It is rapidly, but yeah, it is controlling and without any flickering in the needle. So let's turn up the function key and rotate it to times 100. Then again, let's try to control it. Yep, it is really accurate. Yeah, and that's flickering because the two pins of the probe make a contact with each other. Yep, it is accurate enough and very well accurate. So this key, it is now ready to be installed back into the set. Now after I did reassemble the volume key, I retested and reflowed all of the connections or all of the solder joint, and also I found these two resistance has been deteriorated, this one and this one. If this camera will just focus, yeah. So I replace these two. This is a 33 ohm and this one is a 22 kilo ohm. So as for the 1.2 ohm, it is working, and so I decided to keep it. And I also replaced few jumpers in order so they can work well. Now I'm going to reinstall the volume key and connect some power to this unit and turn it on and see how it will work. So I reassembled and resoldered the volume key, as you can see, and it came back really nicely. And also I connected this 3.6 battery and in order so I can power up the set, and I also connected the speaker through these alligator wires. So without any further ado, let's turn up the volume and switch on the device for the first time and see how it will work. Nothing. Dead at the door now. So why? First, let me connect the VOM and set it to a 12 volt range and see if we are getting any power out of this corrosion over here. Now if we measure the voltage between the two pins of the battery, Yeah, we should see that we are getting a reading. Yeah, 3.6, 3.8 even. So this is the red wire. Let's see if we have power at this pin over here. Yes, we have. Let's go to this wire over here. And we don't have power. So I believe these two traces are gone. This trace over here and this trace over here. So I'm going to jump these two wires using a jumper wire, and we will see how it will go. So I jump wired or use a jumper wire to reconnect the broken traces. As you can see, it is turned up really good, and I reconnected the battery. And now let's try to flip the switch on for the first time. As we can see, it is working. Let's try to control the tuner and see if it is going to pick up some stations. I hear some music in the background, so yeah. Wow. So I'm betting this is an FM. So let me try to switch to the other modelers and see how it will play. This is in FM. Let me try. I believe this is an AM. Wow. This is receiving very well. I'm betting this is the shortwave. The shortwave needed to have an antenna connected, but I believe this unit it is working now. So let me remove the jumpers and reassemble the entire thing and see how it will play after I reassemble it. So here is the set, has been all back together as you can see, and I reconnected all the wires and the speaker wires, and also I connected the external battery. And now let's turn it, oh shit, let's turn it on and see how it will play. Oh, what the hell? This means we have something wrong in the amplifier circuit. Yeah. So I will have to disassemble it once again and test the capacitors and all of the component. As you can see, even if in the amplifier circuit there is something wrong. I believe it is a misbehaving capacitor. So but it is working though. There is something wrong in the amplifier circuit. So let me disassemble it once again and test or replace all of these capacitors. So back on a Panasonic radio, as you saw earlier, when I assemble it and try to switch it on, there was a lot of static and a lot of buzzing coming out of the speaker. So I disassemble it again, and my diagnostic, it was right. Every single capacitor that I pull out of the circuit, it was either leaky or out of specs. So I decided to replace all of them, and I assembled a few of them because I didn't have the right value, but that is okay because there is a lot of space behind and can fit and modify it any kind of value that you want. So yeah, let me just flip the PC board in order so you can see. And this is all the capacitors has been replaced. Now let's turn it on and see how it sounds like. Yeah. So as you can see, there is no static and there is no buzzing, and it is sounded really clear, and the radio now it is working fine. So yeah, I believe this is ready, or this radio is ready to be reassembled and to go to the owner of it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please give me a thumbs up. Please like, subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you next time.